Well, hello, and welcome back to the Naked and Truth podcast. It is your host and creator, Sari D here. And guys, I just have to say that I am so thankful to have you guys here listening. Honestly, this podcast has come so far, seeing its growth. And even just its maintenance over the last couple of months has been absolutely incredible. And the people that we are bringing onto this podcast are really just meant to open up your mind to help you see things through a different perspective because I didn't create my personal training company to be called authentically fit for no reason, okay? I really truly believe that we're all authentic, that there is no one approach fits all in this world with absolutely anything, from the clothes that we wear to the way that we need to deal with certain issues, right? Like the same approach is just not going to work for everybody. And so I want to have people on this podcast that, you know, maybe come on and speak about the same topic, but maybe have a different outlook towards it. And, we saw that over the last couple of weeks. We saw Ty come on, and Ty was making sure that we had tips and tools that we could use to manage our own anxiety and depression. We ended up having Tall Paul come on, and Tall Paul was there to teach us how to reach out to a therapist and to make sure that we aren't afraid to jump into therapy to help us out. And so there's two totally different approaches that we have there. And I love the fact that this is being an outlet to be able to allow you to choose what is best for you and not to be here to say one is the best overall. Okay. So I really wanted to start out this podcast this way because this episode, and I believe next episode is all just me. And then we have more new guest speakers on. And it's really exciting to see who we're going to be having on, just their backgrounds and what they're going to teach you. So stay tuned for some really exciting things. But otherwise, I came on today to teach you guys about how to not allow negativity to steal your sunshine. Okay. So let's be honest. Things have been a little stressful. And like a little stressful, I mean like 2.5 years stressful. I can feel it. Everybody's burnt out. um, there's not as much expression. I think people are feeling frustrated. I think people are just feeling down and depressed, honestly, without even realizing that that's what they're feeling, that they're so depleted. But the support is just not there. The positivity is not there. And don't get me wrong, we've seen a lot of movement over the last couple of weeks, a lot of positivity coming to light for us overall with this pandemic ending when it comes to statistics and just everything that's being put out around the world. So it's really exciting news to see what's coming, and there is a lot of positivity that's being out there, but I just want to remind you guys that there's a lot of negativity that's out there as well. Some of it is out there trying to bring you down, like it purposely is being created to make you think certain things and to make you feel certain things and to feel really bad. Like that's really just the goal. And like for me, it's hard to understand negativity just because when you genuinely want good, it's hard to understand how like fucked up minds work that way, and that they really do want you to do badly and to tear you down, and that they get pleasure in that. But the other part is too is that, like I said, a lot of us have just been on a long fucking haul and we're so burnt out, and we don't even realize how burnt out we are, and we don't even realize that we're not giving any love or emotion, or we simply just feel like we got nothing left to give, right? And so that's where, if you are a positive poly, and by a positive poly, I mean you are the kind of person where, don't get me wrong, you still have your negative moments, but you're trying your damn best to be positive, to see the bright side in everything, to have hope, to, give love to the people around you, even when your life maybe isn't going perfect. Like, those are my positive polys. And that's who this message is for, because I don't want your light to dim. I don't want your sunshine to be stolen through what's going on with all this negativity, right? Because at the end of the day, when you are really positive, you get burnt out. You get fucking burnt out from all this negativity. And it gets to a point where you want to give in and you want to collapse and you just want to be negative and you want to give people their medicine back and you want to not like their shit and you want to not comment on their shit and you want to be jealous of what they have and you want to do all these things, but you fucking don't, because you know that that's not going to get you anywhere, right? So you go and you like their shit, you comment on their shit, you support them when they're starting something new or when they just got a new house or whatever it is that they're going through that's cool, that should be celebrated. Like, we're so divisive. It's just unbelievable sometimes, and it just is breaking my heart because it's like I feel like we're having such a hard time staying connected on social media, and it's like the world's already been torn apart from in person. So it's like, if we can't even fucking function on social media, where are we going from here, guys? And that's what I really just want this podcast to be about, is an eye opener for all of us to check ourselves of where we are on that spectrum, because it's a wide spectrum right now. But like I said, a lot more of us on that negative side, and I just don't want all the positivity to fizzle out, because it gets tiring feeling like you're trying to uphold um that vibe when it's not there, right? So I just want you guys to remember that nobody has the answer for everything. And because nobody has the answer for everything, that's where we were made unique and authentic, where we all kind of specialize in our own thing. We all kind of have our own passions, our own interests, and things that we feel like we know a little bit about, right? And like we can educate others about, or maybe be um, a representative for, I guess. So when we see so many people weighing in opinions or giving instructions, like, even like I look at a government. Okay, I'm gonna stop pussyfooting on this on this podcast here, because really I am walking on eggshells right now, and I think you guys can tell. So like, you look at a government and it really isn't built to be successful overall in the sense of one person. And like, I understand that you have the rest of the party there to give their input and things like that. But when we look at things like the environment, healthcare, um, cultural rights, the list just kind of goes on and on of all the different departments that you have for the government to look after. And the thing is that nobody's going to have a perfect answer on everything. And that's where I think the government is a little in trouble these days, is just the fact that, especially here in Canada, as a democracy, in my opinion, that means that we collectively are coming together for our opinion, and we get to vote on our opinion, right? And I think something that would be really, really useful, especially since they've created like all these QR code apps and everything like that, is an app where you're able to register yourself essentially like a voter. And when it comes to really big topics, like all the stuff that we're fighting each other over right now, that we're all able to actually place a vote, because these things that are taking place, like the environment, what's happening to healthcare, on and on and on and on, it does affect all of us overall. Does it mean that we all get affected directly the same way that other people do? Nope, but that's just life. All of us get affected directly in different ways. So as a whole, I think it would be great if we could have the ability to input our opinions like that, to actually feel like we're being heard, because I think a lot of us right now aren't feeling heard. A lot of us feel like we've heard too much. It's been a lot, and I think that that's what's really been drowning out the positivity, is the fact that it's just, on top of all the shit that we have to go through in life, this pandemic has been way too much. And then the pandemic not being used in the right ways has been extra stressful on everybody else. And, I just want us to stick together and realize that we need to keep going and being positive and trying to hear each other's opinions, and know that it's really important for us to hear everybody's opinions and filter down our own opinions off of that. But everybody deserves the right to be heard. Everybody deserves the right to have an opinion. And I think another really important thing to remember about this positive negative thing right now, guys, is that everything is like what we've experienced, okay? Like that's our perception on life is what we've experienced. So like I just want to give an example when it comes to healthcare, and I'm going to talk about holistic and pharmaceutical. So I am somebody who's had a lot of really bad experiences when it comes to pharmaceutical. And don't get me wrong, I've needed to use pharmaceutical and I've had a couple of really good experiences. But those couple of really good experiences haven't outweighed the bad ones. And that's where I really wish that pharmaceutical and holistic could work together, that there is a way for us to be able to do this together, and that, there's really an importance for both. But to push one over another isn't something that flows well in my books. Whereas, you look at somebody else who maybe was a nurse, right? And maybe somebody who has been involved in healthcare their life and has really felt like the doctors have made right choices and that they've been saved in a lot of moments and they've had a lot of positive experiences. And I completely understand why somebody would be like, fuck holistic, let's just stick with pharmaceutical because these guys know what's up. And like it's structured this way, whatever it is that made you feel secure in their choices. And so that's just a light example on why we have different opinions on different things, guys. And it simply comes from our experiences, because there is bad on every single side. There is good on every single side. Okay. Like it goes all the way back to Newton's law. For every positive, there's a negative, and vice versa. Right. So, I think it's like the positive, every for every positive action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So positive and negative. That's what I think it is. So sorry for all my science lovers out there. It's been a long time since I took my physics, but you know what I mean? Like it goes all the way back to science. So I know that this was like a weird podcast for sure. Definitely probably not what you anticipated from the title of Steal Yo Sunshine, but essentially I just want us to work together and understand that we're all going through some shit, okay? Nobody is more important, nobody is less important, but as humans, a lot of the time we do not care about other things until we are directly affected. And I'm just going to leave that message there. So just know, guys, that it's hard being positive. It's easy being negative in this world. I don't want us to take the easy route. I want us to keep pushing and really making this life fun and this world worthy to live in. Okay. And we do that by sticking together and respecting each other, and by making sure that we're pushing through with that positivity. Okay. So I hope you guys got something from this. I hope I'm not going to get destroyed at the end of this, and you guys can totally see that it all comes from a place of love, a place of understanding, and a place of wanting to move forward for all of us. Okay. So nothing but peace and love coming from your Sari D. Okay. So thank you guys so much for tuning into today's podcast. And I'm going to catch you next fucking Monday.